Hello everybody, welcome back to Surviving Minecraft, the show that begins at the beginning and ends today with some information regarding advanced crafting and basic alchemy. My name is DanielAKA. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that today's video is informative. If you are new to the subject or at least interesting to watch, please don't hesitate to leave any kind of constructive criticism and comments in the comment section below the video. So, we've got basic crafting down so far. We got a crafting table, we've got our furnaces for cooking stuff up, but we've got a few other advanced blocks that we can use for crafting, and we're going to end this discussion talking about potion making. I've got a series of boxes set up here with some prepared materials that we're going to go through. And we're going to do this one step at a time, and each of these is a little different. Let's start with this one. This is the recipe for making a campfire. Campfires are blocks that generate heat, for cooking food. They generate light, and they generate smoke. You need coal, or charcoal, I believe, as well there. And then you need logs and sticks. In fact, let's go grab some charcoal just to make sure that I am not incorrect in this. We got plenty of charcoal available. So, we do that. Yep, charcoal works perfectly fine also. So, campfires do stack. Yeah, one more should be sufficient. And since we are up here, let's go ahead and grab these real quick. We're going to want these for our testing here. So, campfires are pretty nice because, well, in terms of food, you can cook food without having to input any additional fuel. These will go through and burn perpetually. They can hold 4 different things, and they don't have to be the same thing. And when the food is done cooking, for any food that can be cooked, it just pops off. Let's go ahead and give that a second here for that to go through. Now, you see that it produces smoke. So, one of the things you can do these days, there we go, just popped off, just like that. It does burn you, but, yeah, it is what it is. So, like I was saying, it produces a column of smoke. Well, if we take a hay, a bale of hay, which is 9 hay specifically, the smoke should get a lot higher. So this is a way you can make ways to indicate points of interest, for instance, without having to pillar up and put a whole bunch of stuff. This can be seen from a long ways away. Now, if you have a Silk Touch tool, it can be broken, but if not, it'll just break down. So those are campfires. Let's go and take a look at this real quick. A loom. A loom is 2 string and 2 planks. I just want to bring this up because we're talking about this with advanced crafting. The loom lets you take a banner and do specific patterns in it. We're going to do a whole video on banners at a later point. I wanted to mention it, though, because at least back in the day, I mean, you can still take different dyes and put them in different slots in the crafting grid to make banners, but that makes it a lot easier. Alright. Let's go ahead and break that here. We got 3 more blocks we're going to look at. Let's take a look at the blast furnace. The blast furnace is smooth stone, a furnace, and iron. So smooth stone is just regular stone that you smelt up. That's all that it is. And what a blast furnace lets you do is it lets you smelt up various things, not food, but let's say, tell you what, let's go get a couple of examples here. Let's say stone. And what is another good one we can use for this test? Do we have any iron ore? No. You know what? Let's just grab some of this. And hop back down here. So the advantage to this, yeah, blast furnace will not smelt. Will it smelt coal? It will not smelt coal. Ores it'll smelt, and you see it smelts a lot quicker. It does use the fuel at twice the rate, so you're not getting anything extra out of it. But it does smelt significantly quicker. And you can hear the sound coming from the blast furnace as well. So if you've got a lot of iron ore or gold ore to smelt up, this is going to be the way to do it. So there's that. Now, if you take a furnace and you put logs around the sides, you get a smoker. Now, smokers are handy because they smelt up food. Let's see if we have any kale, kelp. Yep. So smoker and so this will also smelt up twice as quickly. I'm going to double check this, but I don't think this uses up the fuel any quicker. I think it just smelts it twice as quickly. So if you're going to cook something like kelp up, it is much more efficient to do it in a smoker than a regular furnace. So there is that. Let's see here. We'll double check. Nope, I was incorrect in that. It is just twice as quick. So, so yeah, it is exactly like this. Twice the speed, same fuel. Okay, perfect. I've corrected myself. That makes more sense. So, ores for the blast furnace. So pretty much any ore, or something that would be broken down into an iron nugget. Pretty much any of that. And this is any type of food. Okay. The final thing I want to discuss, and this is going to be more relevant in this case, is going to be the brewing stand. I shouldn't say relevant, but I should say kind of what I intended this episode for in its entirety originally. The brewing stand consists of cobblestone and a blaze rod, and that's it. Let's go ahead. Need to put a couple of things away real quick here. Let's go ahead and throw our food back in here. I'll do the majority of cleanup off camera. That is fine. Okay. So I've got one brewing stand made up. I'm going to set up a little brewing area up here. And to do that, I want, let's see here. Yeah, let's do this with trapdoors. And I want to make sort of a little table here with the brewing stand. Nice. And right here, we're going to place down a thing of water. Now, in a lot of cases, you'll see where you could use a cauldron, which is another thing you can build with iron to hold water, but it only has a few items worth. We want water because we're going to make up some glass bottles. There we go. 63 bottles from a stack of glass here. Let's throw that back in. So, bottles can be filled basically indefinitely if you are using a... Can't do that there. There we go. A water source block like that. Let's go ahead and throw all of those in there. Water bottles don't stack those, so you need to be aware of that. Now, here is the Brewing Stand's interface. Here's the way this works. First, you need to put your fuel in here. The fuel is going to be blaze powder. It is just simply a blaze rod that has been broken down. By the way, I'll go and bring this up now. One of the other things you can use blaze powder for is to take an ender pearl with blaze powder to craft eyes of ender. We're going to be using that on the next episode to go doing a bit of exploration. But blaze powder will go right here and act as a fuel source. Now, what you do at this point is you drop things into this, and it will basically brew these items up, these bottles up down here with different effects. Now, we have to start specifically with, for most potions, since we're just going to get into the very basics, you have to generally start with Nether Wart for that, which is one of the reasons why we ventured out into the Nether Fortress on the prior episode here. So, let's go ahead and head up top. I planted some Nether Wart, and this is just Nether Wart we found on top of soul sand. And you get several Nether Wart per four for each harvest. So we're going to go ahead and replant this so that we have a steady supply. We won't need too many. You can craft Nether Wart up into Nether Wart blocks. Let's go ahead and head back down. You know what? Let's head this direction here real quick, as I do want to grab some sugar, as it is going to be important for us here. We need at least a little bit. Let's take a look at our automated sugar farm as well here. Yep, we've been getting a pretty steady supply. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and continuing on. Okay. Just want to double check and see if I had any glowstone readily available there. We'll see if we have any in the container upstairs. Alright. So, if you want to do any kind of alchemy, you have to start by getting into the Nether and finding the fortress for the Nether Wart and such. So we're going to drop one Nether Wart in here, and you're going to see we're going to get a percolating, brewing type of motion here. We're going to let that go on there for just a moment. And I'm going to throw the blaze rods in here. Let's grab that. Let's grab one of these gassed tiers. Let's grab one of these. I do need some redstone. We'll grab a stack of that. Good. Let's grab that and let's break it down. Real quick tip, if you ever find yourself in need of doing something, you get real close here, you put this block in your offhand, you right click to place it, left click with the thing that's going to be breaking it, and you can just sit here and mine this all day long. Alright, good enough. Also grab this gunpowder. Alright, this should make a good setup here. So, we have some awkward potions. So, step 1 is to make awkward potions. And the awkward potion is sort of your base for other types of potions here. So, just thinking to myself, now we're good. So let's go ahead and do this one first. Magma Cream. This can be gotten from those slimes in the Nether. We can also combine blaze powder and a slime. We haven't found a slime yet. We'll get to that eventually. But Magma Cream, I'm going to do this one first, is pretty handy because when you combine that with an awkward potion, this is going to make potions of fire resistance. So potions of fire resistance will make it so they're basically immune to fire. There we go. So you see these have a base duration of 3 minutes. At this point, we can do one other step to these. We can add a modifier to change the outcome. So glowstone dust will enhance it if it can be enhanced. Redstone increases the duration, and gunpowder turns it into a splash. So, let's say, because this is what we should be doing, we're going to add in redstone dust. Let's go ahead and throw that in here. And you see at the moment we have 3 minutes of fire resistance. And this, by the way, is extremely, extremely handy when you're farming stuff in the Nether. Now we have 8 minutes. That's perfect. Let's do another potion. So we need 3 more bottles of water. We got to make that an awkward potion. And let's do a ghast tears. So there is a number of recipes, and I recommend taking a look at the wiki. We'll do a more in-depth dive into this at some point. But let's go ahead and drop the ghast tear in. And let's turn that into sugar. Like so. And let's show you the glowstone. So this turns into 45 seconds of regeneration. If we throw in the glowstone dust instead of the redstone, this is going to take this from a basic level of regeneration into an enhanced level, but we're not going to get a duration increase. So we have a lesser time on a stronger potion. Let's go ahead and throw this into here. Regeneration is just healing, basically. Let's do one more just to show this off. Let's do ourselves, so modifier, the base. So 1 bottle of water in here. This is just for demonstration purposes. Throw down our campfire here. all smoky. It should not do anything to the blocks around. But a water bottle or something with gunpowder added turns into a splash potion. So it'll put out fires. That's actually pretty handy. And, I mean, that is basically it. Let's go ahead and... Yep. Pick it up. It'll just relight itself there. So, here is our brewing stand. So, I'm going to end up spending time off camera. And, in fact, let's just... if I did... something like that. I'm curious if this will... No, that is definitely going to leak out. We can do that. Sort of makes it look like a thing. Let's. I want to make a couple other brewing stands. Grab that. Two more. Two more is sufficient for our purposes. Perfect. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. And I'm just going to mass brew a few different types of potions. There is also... Do I have any handy? No, we'll worry about other stuff here going forward. But yeah, basic potion brewing. Get yourself some blaze rods. And go to town. Again, take a look at the wiki for specifics. And that's pretty much it. I think on the next episode, we are either going to go venture out looking for an end stronghold. We're going to go try and find a stronghold. So we can get into the end, so we can fight the Ender Dragon, or I may end up getting a horse to make travel a little quicker in that direction. But we will play with that going forward. So I hope you all have enjoyed. As always, my name is Daniel. I want to thank you all for watching, and you all have an excellent day.